It is 8:43. Welcome back. Time to talk your money. With a new year comes a new determination for lots of folks to get organized when it comes to money. So here to help us explain what to do this morning, Michael Treiberg with Treiberg Wealth Management. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So a pretty common New Year's resolution
Yes.
to figure out the finances. Anyone who's tried can tell you it's a lot more difficult. And today's a big day for resolutions.
It is. It is. Most people give up on their resolutions just a week and a half or so after the New Year's, which was right where we're at. So it's a great time to renew this and really get back on track.
So the first one is establish an emergency fund. This is kind of where you start. Talk about that.
Yeah, so many people get overwhelmed with trying to get on track financially. The first thing, this is the easiest step, the one that you just want to focus on first. Just get a really small little savings account, $1,000 to $2,000 set aside, so that way you've got that emergency fund. That's step number one.
And how do you go about building that? Is it just taking out of your saving or out of your paycheck every couple of weeks?
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is to set up a separate account, a savings account with wherever you bank, where you have your checking account, have it separate, and then have an automatic transfer. Every time you get paid, have $50 or $100 or whatever you can manage, go into that and start building that up. And once you get it to that $1,000 mark, you want to protect that and keep that. Of course, it's there for emergencies, but you want to try to leave that alone, and then that'll allow you to go on to step number two.
Which is, this is the one you need to plan. This is where you start to figure out how to pay off debt and get out of debt.
Yeah, debt. Debt is the biggest issue here because we really want to take a measured approach to try to get rid of it and not be overwhelmed by it. Once you have that emergency fund set up, then you want to look at all of your debt and really focus on what's the highest interest rate and put money toward that. But the main thing is to commit up front to not take on any new debt. So if you have credit cards, try to stop using them and then try to start paying down as much as you can as soon as you can.
And there's always this debate. Do you pay off the ones with the highest balance or the highest interest? You end up saving more if you pay off the high interest ones first.
That's correct. From a math standpoint, it's better to pay the highest interest first. But I found a lot of people get quite a bit of momentum from paying off their smallest debts first just to eliminate them, and it feels good. So if you have a lot of little small ones, work on paying off the small ones and just get rid of them. It'll feel good and it'll get you some motivation to keep at it.
Which is our another third step here, get 3 to 6 months of expenses in your savings. So this is different from the emergency account?
Correct. This is after you have your debt paid off outside of your mortgage. Then you want to go back and really try to establish 3 to 6 months of savings. You can add it to that same emergency account, but the goal is really to establish this. Now, it may seem more than you need, but when your air conditioner breaks or your car breaks down, this is where you need to tap into that.
And then the last one, invest, invest, invest.
Yeah, invest. And the end goal is to try to start investing 15% of your family income. And then you just want to look at where to put that when you get to that point. Do you invest in 401ks, Roth IRAs, etc.? But that's the main thing, is to try to target 15% when you have that debt paid off and the emergency fund established.
And one last thing to point, this is not something that happens in the course of a day.
No.
This is years long.
And a lot of people get discouraged because they just don't see any progress. This might be years in the process, and that's why it's really important to take these small steps. Look at the first step. Just give yourself 6 months to get that emergency fund established, then tackle the debt, then go on to the next step. But do it in progression, and you'll get on the right track.
Yeah, even just that first $50 deposit into your emergency account is some motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it absolutely builds, and the best thing to do is to just take little steps one at a time.
All right, Michael Treiberg with Treiberg Wealth Management. Nice to see you.
All right, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too.
A little late on that. 8:47, over to you, Angelica.